Hello, everyone. Welcome to JHC Plus Friends. I am one of your hosts, Chrissy Souders, joined here by none other than Julia Holly. Hey, Julia, how are you doing?
Hey, Chrissy, how are you doing? It's awesome to be here again.
Absolutely. And it's 2021, so it's a new year, which means new motivations, new goals, and something I'm really excited to talk with you about. And we also just want to encourage everyone watching to make sure you share your comments and questions with Julia. That way we can get those answered for you. So yeah, how has 2021 treated you so far, Julia?
It's been pretty interesting. I think I've even talked to other friends, like it's kind of a weird transition from 2020 to 2021. I don't know if that was the case for you, but it almost seemed like nothing, like from New Year's Eve to the next day, I was like, did it really happen? Are we really in 2021? And then all the crazy stuff happening in the first month. So it's just been an interesting first month.
Yeah, I think primarily we're kind of like in that psyche because we were just so traumatized by 2020.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of like, we've got thick skin now and we've all been through so much. So it's kind of like, So really excited to talk to you about the discussion today, which is about our 2021 goals and also talking about JH Creative and what is in the lineup for what you've got going on. So let's start with, first of all, we're doing these live streams. So let's start with how you're going to be doing these live streams on a monthly basis.
Yes. So this year, I wanted to also touch upon my quarterly goals. I'm not going to break down every single thing, but yeah, I'm really happy that we can start these lives again. These will be monthly, so you can expect that the shows are going to be, we're going to have some guests. We're going to have some valuable topics. We are also still producing the next few episodes, so I highly encourage you, if you have any questions for me to address specifically, I would love to tackle those types of topics. So please send us some ideas, some topics along the lines of digital marketing and even smart ways to manage your business. So, and Chrissy is here to help me out. We've got some other fun things happening. So I can't wait to keep you guys updated throughout these lives.
To help you out, I'm also a business owner, so I'm learning from you as well too, and taking notes.
Yes, and that's why I really appreciate that you're on with me as well. Yeah, so touching upon the quarterly goals. So I will focus first on the first quarter. I was really inspired and helped by the event that I told you guys about last year, about the 21 for 21 challenge. And at the end, they also had another event, the same people who ran it by Digital Marketer, on the Traffic and Conversion Summit. And at the end of that event, they talked about really honing in on 2 to 3 projects per 90 days, because you can't really see much success out of any other project if you have less time or even a little too long of a time. So they've found that if you focus on a few, you get great on that few, then you could probably add a few more, per quarter. So in my case, being a little bit smaller, I'm focusing on primarily one thing this quarter and seeing how that pans out. And that one thing is my challenge. So if any of you have been following me on social, you guys might have seen that I promoted this thing called the Transformation or Content Transformation Challenge. And we ran it at a small scale last month, and it did really well. Our team put together within a couple weeks how to plan out your content for 2021, and it was designed for 5 days. So it was a 5-day challenge, and it was so rewarding in many ways. I really feel like the people who participated got so much out of it, and we as a team also got a lot out of it as well.
And I will say one of my employees actually participated in that challenge as well too. And she was just so motivated. Right after that, she planned out our monthly social media posts and all of that. And it's been very, very helpful, because those are things that I really wanted to just kind of hand over and say, hey, take care of this. And so it definitely allows me to add more on my plate as a business owner.
Yes, thank you so much too, even for having one of your team members participate. It was so awesome to see how people went from not exactly understanding and knowing how to do this. In 5 days, they're like, I'm so excited and ready to do this. And so that's one of the things, I mean, further down the line during this talk, I'm going to talk to you guys and show you guys what it looks like. Just briefly, I want to talk to you about the reason why a challenge works and the benefits of running a challenge. So in this quarter, by March, my goal is to run another live challenge. But in the meantime, I'm going to also run like an automated version where people can kind of do it on their own time. So I'm going to push that out pretty much by this week. That's the goal. and we'll have more details on the live challenge in March. So as far as what a challenge is, to give you a little bit more of an idea, it could be designed for a 5-day challenge or a 30-day challenge. And we've noticed in the last year among digital marketers, it's done so well. Even with all the shutdowns, businesses were able to pivot from live events to some sort of virtual event, including running a challenge. And the key is it's centered around a topic that you have an expertise on. So from running a small challenge, maybe I'm saying small, meaning like, at least for my experience with the 5-day challenge, you not only position yourself as an expert in the field or for your industry, you establish a relationship with somebody who doesn't know you, and they can learn quickly, centered around the topic that you're teaching. Not only that, they can see how you work and how you communicate. So you've established a trust with the people and a rapport with the people like pretty quickly. So from there, you can actually do more. So for businesses, if you're considering like, what does that mean? Like, how would that work for my business? It works actually at many verticals. So.
Yeah. And really at the heart and core of this is your overall goal is to help business owners save time and make money. So explain to us, breaking that down, how you're able to do that to benefit business owners.
Yes, good question. So one of the benefits of running this type of thing is what they're finding, and I'm seeing it personally too, is that when you put out ads out there, you can only promote yourself so much, right? You can only communicate so much about your business, but you can't really show them what it's like to work with you, right? So with a challenge, you give them a little insight of what an experience or a customer experience is like with somebody to work with you. So what they found was the conversion rate of running an ad versus running a challenge was about the same. So even if you spent the same amount of money on ads, and then the same amount, or not even the same amount of money on running a challenge, but the time and organizing it and everything else and running it, it might cost about the same, but the results are about the same too. So in a sense, you might actually get more return on your investment with the challenge. So, and I'm seeing, even with just a few participants at a smaller scale, I not only have that relationship with the people who participated, but I got so much awesome feedback, really valuable feedback from that. And then I can take the challenge to a next level. So the next live is definitely going to be a better version. It's, you could say 2.0. And we're going to push for it to grow. So more participants and things like that. In the future, if it has to be in the near future, if people want me to show you guys how I did it, like, reach out to me, of course. But I would rather run my own challenges for a few times, scale it, and then see where it goes from there.
And you are breaking down your projects, 3 projects per quarter, 90 days. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yes. So my primary project is the challenge. And then some of the other things that I'm also rolling out is a bunch of sales funnels. So that's a whole nother conversation. I might have to just do a separate show on that. So if you've never heard of a sales funnel, it's kind of like a campaign, but it's designed to get a bunch of leads through a direct channel or funnel, if you will, to give you something in return, which is either to purchase a product and then you get an email. And it's about the customer journey. Where do you take someone from being a cold lead to a warm lead and then an actual customer, and then how do they become loyal? So that's one of the things that we're focusing on the next few months as well. And then you could say these lives are one of my other third items. So I have a bunch of things, like even from last year, my team had accomplished a bunch of projects. So now it's all about like connecting the dots, getting the customer through a very organized experience, and making sure that people stay on. So
yeah, absolutely. It's always good to have repeat customers, right?
Oh, it's the best. Exactly.
So you've explained the benefits of the challenge. So let's see if we can take a tour of that. Let's go ahead and get that worked up on your screen here.
So here, if I can, I won't be able to, I think I might be able to zoom in. I'm just going to highlight a testimonial for someone who participated. Someone said, loving the clarity, consistency, and helpfulness of everything you talk about. I feel like it's a perfect balance of information. This was a challenge participant, and I had a bunch of other quotes come through. So I'm really happy that I got positive feedback. And let's just say if you were to purchase access or tickets to the challenge on your own, it will look something like this. This is a visitor's point of view, and you'll see this is like kind of like an introductory, but you would get access to all of these modules, and it has links to documents that I put together to help guide you on, let's say establishing your goals and determining your monthly content, the brand content, and engaging content. So these are things that you have to know and understand in order to come up with a content calendar. And here's a perspective of what it looks like on the inside after you purchase. When you go live, the full price, or when you join the live, a full price is $100. And that's a really good bang for your buck, because if you were to pay me to teach you all this hourly, I charge $100 per hour. So you would be saving $400 plus to learn all of this on your own free time. So I have a guide not only to these docs, but these docs provide extra tips on saving time, and there's all kinds of really useful information out there that you would probably get lost trying to Google it and figure it out on your own. So I'm going to save you or your team member a year plus worth of learning on the job. So there's that, and then in the live.
And one thing I want to add is time is money.
Exactly. Yeah. I need to put a value number to that, right? Depending on how much you would pay somebody for a whole year at an entry level, that's a lot of money, and they make mistakes along the way. And if they're doing it the slow route, the average marketer might spend 3 to 5 hours every day managing multiple accounts. You can imagine even with one person managing your account, that could be hours and hours for a week, and they don't get really significant results from that if they don't know what they're doing. So you are gonna throw away some money if they're not properly trained. And one of the benefits of attending live is that you would get access to the Facebook group. So I had a Facebook group, and it was pretty cool seeing how people were interacting, supporting one another. That's the fun thing about going live, is that you're interacting with the community. And so I highly recommend really planning out on joining a challenge, a live challenge, especially mine in March. But if you want to do this in your own time, it'll be discounted. I will discount the price for those who want to try this out without joining a Facebook group and without the accountability included in an actual live challenge. And you would have you have your own time that you can manage through, and you should be able to get it done within 5 days. So for those who would like to access this and try this on their own, and I've done a test, and some have done it on their own and no problems or anything. They were able to get through the challenge and learn a lot on their own as well. So that's primarily it. I mean, this is also what it looks like as well from my end, but I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
So I want to hear what some of the comments were in regards to the feedback. I guess you can say it's important to have that feedback, right?
Yes.
And to be able to ingest it and then use it to your advantage as a business owner. Is that something that business owners will be able to learn as how to use that type of feedback? Because actually that is an incentive to your business. Yes,
you brought up a good point. Your customer providing feedback is gold. So that's why, I mean, you might see companies looking, for honest feedback, but it's hard. It's like pulling teeth getting that. So you have to make it easy for them to provide you honest feedback. And you also have to make it, where there's frictionless. You make it frictionless. Mainly you take the obstacles down where you want that person to just submit their answers super easily with survey or just like a quick email. And that way you can learn from that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted feedback. Everyone was so positive, but I was fine. I was welcoming even like the negative feedback because I wanted to improve the challenge for sure.
And also, I mean, as far as turning that feedback into monetary reward, I mean, like you said, it is gold to get that feedback, because then you know exactly what the customer wants.
Right, exactly. And then on top of that, when you collect even the positive feedback, you can use that for your advertising. As long as you get permission from your customers, they can submit a video testimonial. And some voluntarily put together a video, and I really appreciate that they gave me some authentic messaging, and I'm going to reach out to them and see, hey, would you be comfortable with me advertising that? Because I would love that. And it's just more authentic. It's more real. People believe that versus you saying all the great things about yourself. So it's better.
So how should people prepare themselves going into this challenge and getting the most out of it?
Oh, thank you for asking for that. That's great. So in the intro video, it actually mentions, that's me talking, that you should start collecting all your brand assets if you have any. Start considering where you can find. You're going to have links later in the challenge as well, but where are your pictures? Do you have some scrap paper or magazine clippings or anything like that will help you get inspired through the process, and even take screenshots of different types of designs that you'd like to emulate in the future. Just start thinking about how you want your accounts to look like and what your main purposes are for each platform that you're going to use. Because we do heavily focus on social media platforms in this challenge, but really when you come up with the content and topics that you're planning out, this could be applied to email and even your blog or anything that you want to use for sharing information.
Oh, so it's like a trickle down effect.
Exactly. You want to have repurposed content throughout all your platforms. Saving time and money right there.
Repurpose. Yeah. Yes. It's always good to repurpose, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And video is key. And of course you would understand that, Chrissy, because you work with video all the time. I feel like, last year testing out the live format has helped my account tremendously. Just driving more traffic and engagement to my accounts. And that's going to be big for 2021. So that's the other thing in the next couple, in quarter 2 or quarter 3, as we get through more of these lives and as I put together more video clips, I'm going to heavily use that for my marketing, my digital marketing, which is putting more video into all my platforms.
All right. Okay. And so one more time, how can people join up, and when's this all taking place and starting up?
Yes, so we're going to roll out the live in March. No date yet, to be determined. So that's tentative. But as far as getting this, getting access to the discounted automated version for you to do on your own, you could reach out to me at jhcreative.co. You can also DM me on all my different social media platforms. My Instagram account has a link on ways to reach me. There's so many different ways. I tried to make it easy for everyone. You can also email my team at team@jhcreative.co. So we will roll it out this week and see how it goes.
Because you're right. I mean, yes, 2020, many of us were, not able to go many places and meet people. And really, when it comes to being a business, you are your business. So it's important to really put a face to that business and really put yourself out there. So kudos to you and your team for taking the initiative to help other businesses during navigating this new world of business, because it really has changed the landscape of how you how you should or could do business.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of this journey and making this happen this year as well. So you guys are
I'm excited to see what's to come and topics, and anyone you had mentioned, if someone wants to be a guest on the show or has an interesting topic that they want to discuss, what's the vein of topics that you're looking for?
Yeah, so I'm looking more for at a local level too. What challenges are you facing right now, and how can we help guide you? So I do have a guest lineup. We've reached out to several businesses. We're going to continue to reach out to several businesses with strong social media presence, especially, and then see what their experience was like and how did they grow their following and things like that. But I would love to have guests as well that tried different things other than social media. So I would love to just connect with local businesses who want to help others as well.
And like manage you scratch my back kind of thing, collective.
Exactly.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add for this 12th episode? For this 12th episode of JHC Plus Friends?
Other than my throat is tickled and it wants to cough so badly. and that it's been a perfect amount of time, and that's what we planned. So
yeah, but absolutely. I mean, we're only humans, right? So go ahead and cough away.
Yeah, I tried. This time I successfully muted during that time.
Anything can happen during live, so it is what it is, So okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And if you think someone could benefit from the information that we broadcasted today with Julia Hawley, please send their information her way. That way we can all succeed together in our community and go forth basically in this new 2021 motivation. Do you have any New Year's resolutions you made?
I have several, but and that's the thing. I've heard of people talk about like, oh, don't do resolutions. You're just going to drop them by the next month. But I do have certain goals. As far as one thing that I wanted to make 2021 to be, for one word, if I were to choose one word, it would be growth. So to me, that's like, as long as I stay focused on that, I think it'll really help me accomplish all the above, personal, spiritual, professional.
Yeah. I think it was like the day after the first day of the new year, wrote all my goals on this chalkboard. And I'm like, and then I look at this old chalkboard about what my goal was for that year. And I'm like, oh, I didn't accomplish that. So Just, full disclosure. But I did tell myself I could not eat any fast food for 30 days.
Good for you. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that did remind me how I looked at last year when I listed out everything. I was like, I need to just work on the ones that I started last year. I was okay for the first half of the year, and of course COVID, and then everything else just went kind of down.
Right. I mean, but like, I think everybody went through that, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we know, I mean, we can only plan ahead so much, and it's totally okay. And I think it's nice that we all can kind of understand that and relate to each other that way.
And with this will just put you in a good place, a good foundation to start back things up again, with a fresh start, really.
Yeah, no, really, we need it. We all need it.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you back here next month. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.